Death, the Grim Reaper, the Pale Horseman, Joe Black, Lord Death, whatever your name for this gruesome dude who is shrouded in black and carrying a huge scythe, we're all going to cross his path someday, and some sooner than they want. So it might be in your interest to stay tuned. You might learn something that might make your meeting with the dreaded one a little bit easier, but probably not. Now, I get there's some smart people out there that think the Grim Reaper is just a personification of something we're all scared of. And all I have to say about that is, I ain't so sure. The dude's been around for a long time, since the Greeks gave him a name, Thanatos. And yeah, now you know where Marvel got all the names for their evil villains. Just as a quick side trip here, you should know that Death isn't always seen as a male figure. The Portuguese called her Dona Muerte, or Lady Death. Mexico has several names for Lady Death, like Santa Muerte, or La Calavera, Catalina, but they favor calling her the Skinny Lady, or the Bony Lady. Regardless of gender, we all know there ain't no escaping death, but have you ever wondered why? Why do we personify death? It is mostly due to us trying to exert some control over something we have absolutely no control over, or worse, something we don't know anything about. So we gain comfort from personifying death. We make death relatable. And every religion and every culture has in some way personified death. I mean, this dude is popular. He's been with us in some form or fashion since Adam and Eve. From the Vikings to the Canaanites, from Christian to Muslims, with the Egyptians and Greeks thrown in, every culture, every religion has personified death. All because we want to try to understand something we know absolutely nothing about. So it makes a lot of sense we'd make shit up and make that shit into something we can understand. Or maybe not. The Grim Reaper, the dude shrouded in black, carrying a big-ass scythe, first appeared in Europe during the Black Plague. And if you need a date, that's around the 1400s, give or take a century. The skeleton, of course, represents death. The physical body decaying, and the black hooded robe represents religious figures presiding over the dead, and the big old scythe, that illustrated the harvesting of crops at the time, so it was well suited to represent the harvesting of souls. Now, compare our personification of death with Latin America, our neighbors to the south, and for informational purposes alone, know that almost everybody south of our border is a Roman Catholic. Yet their personification of death, Santa Muerte, is also a saint, and where her appearance is similar to our Grim Reaper, she is also known for her powers of healing, overall protection, financial well-being, and serving as a path to the afterlife. Of course, it really doesn't matter where in the world you travel to, or even when you go. You're going to find some type of personification of the deathly one. Native Americans personified death as an owl, and in some parts of the country, they had a name for him. Mutt. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Hindu has Yama, the god of death. The Irish have a crazy-ass woman known as a Banshee. If you go back, way back when, the ancient Egyptians represented death as a jackal, named Anubis. So when it comes to death, know this, we've tried to define something we don't have a clue about by making a natural process, and making that natural process completely a supernatural thing represented by a supernatural being, no matter when or where you are in the world. Patron doesn't go well with the Grim Reaper, I tell you that. But if I knew the guy was coming, I'd probably do a couple more shots. Yeah, you know, I've got less days ahead of me than I do behind me, if that makes any sense. You know, so this was an interesting video to do, and you know, I didn't know that, like, the whole mythology behind the Grim Reaper, that, you know, his scythe represented the harvesting and all that. So I learned something with this video. And you know, you got to go through life learning about things. And when you figure out that oh, we're so afraid of death that we gotta, I I don't know. Death to me is just something that's gonna happen, and what happens happens. Afterwards, I don't know. I suspect there's something more, but I don't expect a guy with a black hood to come for me and say, "Hey, I'm here for you. My name is Death." And humans our species is we're interesting as a species, in my opinion. I mean, things we don't understand, we make things up for. We make shit up for just because we don't understand something. We don't understand death, so we try to make it relatable in the form of the Grim Reaper. Anyway, probably nothing I talked about in this after vlog makes any sense, and that's okay, because at my age, we don't gotta make sense. We just do what we want to do and leave it at that. And with that, I'm out of here. Love you. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, sub to my channel. Tell your friends to watch. Why not? You got nothing better to do. Yeah, I'm out of here. Love you.